So welcome everybody to another episode of Slow Secrets, and today I'm with Dr. Sujatha.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi. So a little story of how we met is because I was feeling very tired and just depleted of all my energy, and I remember coming for a consultation, and you told me that I had an imbalance in Kapha, which wasn't even supposed to be part of my constitution. And you said, let's rebalance that so that you can get your drive back because you're Vata Pitta. And ever since, I've been studying Ayurveda, and I followed one of your courses as well. And I've been feeling much more balanced. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
And welcome to our podcast. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about your story and this beautiful retreat place.
Bali's been my home for 18 years now, so I have my family and my center together with my husband here, the Amrtasiddhi Ayurvedic Health Center. I initially came to Bali to set up Koma Shambhala Estate, the wellness retreat in Bali. So I came to work for them for a 1-year contract and then fell in love with Bali, extended another year. And then being in a retreat environment, I felt I did not get the chance to express Ayurveda in its full potential, what it can help people. Because in retreat, people come for rest, but they also want to enjoy all the things. So the pure Ayurveda, I could not practice there. So it was not challenging and soothing my heart, what I wanted to do with Ayurveda. So with gratefulness for what I got for 2 years, introduced myself to the Bali and all the comforts of working for a retreat place. Me and my husband, we quit the job and we started a very small clinic in the New Kuning village next to the temple. So it was just 2 of us. It was a 2-bedroom house. We did everything by ourselves, and organically we grew. And then after 4 years of that, we rented a piece of land close to the original clinic, and slowly we built up the center what it is now.
Wow.
So that's how we created Amrtasiddhi.
Amazing. What does it mean?
Amrtasiddhi means mastering nectar of life.
Oh, wow.
So Amrita, which is a immortal, that something sustains life, health, and we call Ayush. So there's no end for this well-being.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Really beautiful. So Ayurveda, what is Ayurveda for somebody that doesn't know anything about Ayurveda?
Ayurveda is science about life. It contains everything that you want to know about life to live your life with full potential, both in physical, mental, spiritual way, and finding your own balance and expressing itself. And it has got all the solution when you tumble across health issues, emotional issues, spiritual issues. So it's a science, it's like an encyclopedia which can tell about everything you need to know about your health and well-being in all different areas of your life.
Yes.
And it's a science that directly connected to the nature and understanding that we are the part of the nature. So we are, if you consider the whole universe as a one body, then each and everything that exists in the universe is like a cell. And the same thing, we as a human body, we are one big structure with multiple things going on. And so it's like finding that rhythm between the nature and in my body and seeing the changes that happens around me and how I can balance and sustain my health with everything changing around it and changing inside. And that fine tuning and tuning to be healthy and happy. So that's what about Ayurveda.
Super, super. So balance, you mentioned balance. I think Ayurveda can be quite overwhelming and complex because it's been around for so many years. So if I could ask you, how could we balance our doshas? So for example, I am Vata Pitta.
Okay, definitely, because it's a medical system as well, right? So Ayurveda has I would say simply to simplify, the 2 different approaches. It's a medical system. It deals with all different kind of illnesses, how you would go to a Western medical doctor to find a solution that Ayurveda does. So there's a degree that you become a doctor, you study for 5.5 years, and then you do an internship, and then you are a qualified Ayurvedic doctor. So that's a medical part. I understand it's a complex and you need to go to the university to study it. But everybody can learn a bit of that within ourselves to know the finer simple balance. So this dosha concept, what we talked about, it's understanding how the energy inside each individual functions, and that's expressed as uniqueness as Julie or uniqueness as Sujatha, because we all are human beings. There is a way you do things, the way you enjoy, you express is different, right?
Yes.
Where you could be multitasking fast and quick and all those things. This is innate energy you have got, and a lot of creativity. But another constitution person, they express the same things with a different way. So it's like different kind of, you can say, a current or energy carries your physiology.
Yeah.
So once you understand that, okay, my body functions very differently and my emotions are respond very differently. So that means certain things work for me and gives me strength, certain things depletes me. So once you understand this, and then you fine tuning, it's like a radio band, you know, you fine tune wherever you are to get that signal right.
Yeah.
So it's just your body constantly does that. But through food, because we're constantly interacting through the weather, through the food, energy of the place and people. So we need to find what really works for me, what really support my balance
Yeah.
with the energy that I have got. And this is the concept about. And
Yes.
once you get into it and understand that, it becomes very simple, because to take care of myself, I don't need to be a doctor, because
No, I agree.
I really know if, for example, sometimes people know that if they wake up early, start the day with exercise rather than touching their phone, I
Yes.
feel better,
Yes.
right? Or if I
Airplane
go to,
mode forever.
or if I go to bed early and I get a really good deep sleep and I can wake up early and I feel fresh. Or if I don't skip my meals and I eat when I feel hungry and
Oui.
I ask for it. So all those things, it's in there. It's nothing newly invented by Ayurveda. Ayurveda just points out, you see, you do this one, this has a benefit. You do this one, it has a negative effect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It takes me a little bit around like a daily routine. Like I've made a little checklist for myself when I feel like I am, I lost my balance. I really take time to, do yoga in the morning, do some breath work. I cook really nice dal or khichdi. I do a massage a day, and I have a green juice also, which you told me. And I wake up before 7. I go to sleep early. And yeah, I detoxify from my phone. I think this is really a big thing for me.
So yeah, it's like there are the basic things in Ayurveda. The whole study starts with dinacharya, or the daily routine. So the daily routine makes sure that we're not going to stumble and fall off the track, because we do through our senses, using this body, everything that we want to achieve and feel and experience in life. So we need to make sure this machine is working well.
Yes.
So waking up with the sun rays, you set a right rhythm for all the hormones that need to be active to carry your physiology in the morning. And then you don't want to start your day with the telephone, because you're completely distracting. You're not going inward, because you need to nurture yourself. You need to Ayurveda describes it as you need to have a good armor to face the stress
Oui.
that you would be everyday challenge, because you
Absolutely.
can't control anything around you. You can control yourself.
Yes.
So once you have the lot of buffering strength and tolerance and energy that can find a balance, everything else falls in its place. So waking up early, drinking a glass of warm water,
Oui.
doing some exercise, meditation, the self-abhyanga, all those things once you do, and then you have your meal depending on different constitution. Your hunger kick starts early morning, late morning, or close to the lunchtime. So you tune in to see when your body needs the food.
Oui.
And food is medicine. So if you ignore that, how can you imagine that your body going to be healthy and strong? And talking about the concept of a lot of energy, good immunity, everything starts with your gut.
Yes.
And you need to respect that and tune in to know how I nurture my gut with the right food, and that nurtures my body. So with that, Ayurveda talks about the concept of eating when you're hungry. So hunger is a sign that body ready to digest the food. So you give the food at that time, it digests and processes the food well, absorbs well, transforms well into your body tissue and your energy. And if that's not happening, and if I eat erratically whenever I get time, or not feeling the wholesomeness of the food, natural food, it has impact on your system.
Yeah.
You make your body tired and more exhausted to digest it when it is not ready to digest, or digest the things which the body doesn't need. So food is a key to your health. Your body is made out of food. So there's no doubt, no separation that why food should have importance and awareness around it.
Super important.
Yeah.
For me, it's nutrition, movement, and mindset. It's like the triangle.
Yeah, definitely. And Ayurveda
that
calls
I
that
follow.
as ahara, the food, sleep, and then we call brahmacharya, that means action with consciousness.
Oh yes,
Action with
everything
awareness.
in full
Yes.
consciousness.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I fast, I intermittent fast, but I also, like as a reset, do extended fasts. But there are so many different fasts out there today. So I wanted to just ask your opinion about fasting. For example, a full dry fast, which is also something people do, or they do. I do green juice and vegetable stock personally, which really works for me. Others do coconuts and water, and then of course there's panchakarma. So.
Fasting is important. Many ancient traditions talk about fasting. In Ayurveda, fasting started as there is one specific fasting every month which is observed in Hinduism in ancient Indian times, which is called Ekadashi fasting, which is on the 11th day of the calendar, moon calendar, we fast. So the meaning of that fasting is, understanding means staying through all my senses, staying close to the God, or staying close to full awareness. So that means you don't indulge in food, you completely dedicate to meditate, your awareness, clearing your mind, all those things, and you want to give minimum strain on your body. So you basically fast, you can choose the fasting depending on your constitution or your state of health at that time. So say for example, somebody is overeating, heavy, a lot of weight gain and all those things, they want to delete some of the extra that they have got, right? In that way, dry fasting is excellent.
Okay.
Like not doing anything, so that the body can, fasting has such a large benefit because it reorganizes. Also, it eats off the dead cells and stuff that body can release, and that's why it's shown a great result in treating cancer.
Yes.
Right. So when such a tremendous benefit there, you also need to be mindful that when you do a fasting, don't put yourself in a regular life of huzz and buzz and running and all those things. Give a rest.
When you fast, you fast.
Yes,
That's it.
then you need to rest. Exactly, that's all the thing. That's very important to get the full result and not to deplete and hurt your body. So that would be dry fasting, where you want to decongest, where there's a lot of mucus, excessive fat, all those things.
Yes.
Other one is you could do like a water fasting, so which is also close to the dry fasting benefit. You just drink water. Another fasting is particularly if you're a very Vata constitution person. So Vata is wind energy. Like if you see the nature, the wind moves, and when it is too much, it creates anxiety. It's like a stormy feeling inside of your body. So when that's happened, we know wherever there is a space, wind takes in, right? So Vata constitution people cannot do completely like a dry fasting or water fasting. They need something the body to engage. So that's where the broth fasting or combining with few juices, that fasting works very well. And to bring that little bit of warmth along with it, because they need the warmth. Vata is cold, right? So the broth gives them a little bit of a cozy feeling while the body is doing the detox part. Pitta constitution people, where they're very fiery, red, hot-headed, these kind of intense people, if they need to fast, and their challenge is inflammation. So inflammation can happen in many different forms. The straightforward, hot, red, sore, this inflammation kind of is common in Pitta or Pitta imbalance. So for them, doing fasting with fruits, like alkalizing fruits, that would be a best way to do. Or making juices with a lot of different vegetables like cucumber, carrots, beets, celery, and use a little bit of sweetener from apple. That's a good way for a Pitta constitution to do. So in this way, Vata need to have something warm. The broth adding is definitely good. If pure Kapha can go on a dry fasting or water fasting with a little bit of coconut juice if they need coconut water, and a Pitta should come fast with fruits, and choose one or two fruits, and also choose the fruits much more alkalizing. Don't choose the fruits like a banana or
Too much sugar.
yes, too much sugar. Mango, they are very nourishing fruits. You want more alkalizing. You could choose watermelon, you could choose grapes, you could choose dragon fruit. These kind of the fruits are better to fasting. And also you could do different vegetable juices. And in my opinion, when you do a vegetable juice fastings, use apple or pineapple as an added fruit with the other vegetable. Don't combine other things. Or pure berries also fine.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. What about the bulletproof coffee?
Yes, it has an Ayurvedic approach to it. So coffee generally stimulates you, right? And has coffee got benefit? Yes, it's full of a lot of antioxidants. In a small quantity, it could be liver cleansing. In too much quantity, it could be liver toxifying.
Yes.
So if you're a Vata constitution, you can be jittered and excited with coffee. Your nervous system gets a little bit too excessive kick. So bulletproof coffee, adding either butter or coconut oil or ghee and blending that juicy, moist quality would definitely be pacifying for Vata's nervous system. And also it gives stimulation, but it gives a sustainable energy. So to start with the bulletproof coffee your day. And it also not so acidic, it's not going to burn your intestine and create acidity in the morning.
Good.
So in that way, there's a lot of benefits of using bulletproof coffee.
I remember you gave me these little packets of medicine, natural medicine. So where can they find you?
We have a center, Ayurvedic health center in New Kuning village in Bali, which is very close to the monkey forest. We have a facility of individual houses and different kinds of accommodations. We can manage up to 20 to 25 people at a given time for people who come from different part of the world, to cure from simple allergy to weight loss to cancer to arthritis to. So it's a health center with a touch of care, pampering at the same time, and providing support for individual needs from whatever health background or whatever dietary background you come from. So it's an approach to meet a client where they are, to bring them to a state of well-being with educating the science and supporting them where they are. And this is what we do. And if somebody wants to really look into their health, take health in their hand and transform themselves, we are here.
Yes. Yes, and I really suggest that you do it for everyone, actually.
Thank you, Julie.
Before finishing, if you had something you could tell your younger self, what would it be?
For my younger self, give me a second, I'm just thinking about it. Myself, I would say that for myself that I'm a person, I get excited too much. I love what I do. I'm grateful that this has been always my path. I never had a thought of changing my profession or doing something. Everything went very fast in my life, graduation to getting married to kids to work to everything. I would say that if I had one thing I could do is look things into, rather than making my hands too full. I have quite a different project. I have a Ayurvedic health restaurant with Ayurvedic concept, Daparusada, you probably heard about it. I would like to do an online project of educating Ayurveda. I did a course to take more help and delegate more and organize myself, so that everything I want to do it, try not to figure it out by myself or not fill up my plate.
Yes.
So that's what I would say, and then more have a system, organization, thoroughness. This is what I would say. So I can get, even though I'm not a Vata constitution, I can get too overwhelmed and scattered.
Yes, absolutely.
So to
Slow
be
down
more
and
organized
be more
and slow
efficient.
down and more efficient, to look things into detail.
Very important. This is everything I speak about. Slow secrets.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For your time and for everything you've shared with our listeners. And thank you all for listening. And I wish you all a beautiful day and send you lots of love from Bali.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Slow secret.